there are people who are supporting Seun Kuti, and I saw on social media many of them were saying that it serves the Nigerian police right. Many average Nigerians face this kind of police all the time, doing stuff and harassing Nigerian citizens, that they've now met their match. They met somebody who was able to accost them and, charge back at them and give them what they deserve, And when I hear those kind of comments, I'm thinking to myself, okay, how do we understand where they're coming from? Because a lot of Nigerian young people say that they can't wait for an opportunity to slap a police, because you see, there's a video that also went viral where a police officer was slapping a citizen in the mall. We don't know how long ago that video was. But people have videos of where police are harassing citizens. We complain. In fact, it's what led to NSAS in the first place. But do we take laws into our own hands? Do we begin to harass police because we feel that, this one looks like a very, very quiet police, like this slap? How do we build a nation around that? Because when things now disintegrate or fall apart, is this same police will still call to protect us? Even Seun Kuti, for example, when anything happens now, it's still police you call, come and protect us, so there's going to be all this, So whether we like it or not, if we harass them, we don't harass them, we still need the law enforcement at some point.
We have had a taste of anarchy, what anarchy looks like in Nigeria. Anarchy where the police said, I'm not protecting you again. I'm staying on my own. We saw what happened when that happened. We saw how bad things got. That even with we can be insulting them that they're not doing anything for us, but when they step out, we saw how bad things could get. So I think that we cannot overemphasize that we need to have the police officers protecting us. We need to respect them. We know that they're not perfect. We know that they have their challenges, but we don't want to retaliate, because when we start taking laws into our hands, we have challenges. We've seen that happen with jungle justice. When somebody feels, I cannot trust the system, I'm going to fight for myself. We've seen how that has led to some innocent people getting killed because there was no process to get justice properly served. We've also seen cases when the police stepped out and people started robbing and looting because there was nobody to maintain law and order. So, like it or not, we need them.
Yeah. Let me take this call. Hassan from Lekki, you're live. Thanks for calling.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Please, for those supporting Seun Kuti, they are birds of the same feather. That's my reply to them. Number two, what Seun did is uncalled for, is dehumanizing, and it's a demonstration of arrogance to the core. And he should be ready to apologize to the Nigerian police force, to Nigerians, because this policeman is a family policeman and very gentle policeman, and he's a son, a father, a brother to somebody. Please, we should learn to respect humanity. We should learn to be humane. Good morning.
Thank you very much.
Good morning. So, two wrongs can never make a right. And when we say we want to see a change, we must learn to be the change we want to see. We must learn. For some people, it's a bit more difficult than others. But if you put your mind to it and you say, I want to continually work to become a better person, the system that I'm criticizing, I must not be seen to begin to act like them. Because sometimes we criticize and criticize and criticize, and we're criticizing exactly who we are because we're doing the same thing, only that the spotlight has not been shown on us. So we must be very careful on that. No matter what has happened, there's an example that we must teach. There's an example that we must learn, and that is two of you, whether it's a human being with uniform or not, assault must not be done. And some people will say, I'm looking for an opportunity to deal with the Nigerian police. They've done this to me. You must not be the one to teach them the lesson. Why do you want to be the one teaching the Nigerian police the lesson? The people who still have a mindset of teaching lesson, let them do it. And when they grow out of it, fantastic for them. But you must not be seen to be the one giving the lesson. You are not a judge. You are not a jury. Your job is to be a good human being. Right. So the thing is, we must not assault. We must always learn to use our words. I've always said this before, and we must begin to teach our young ones to use your words. No matter what, use your words. Communicate. You don't need to use your hands. You don't need to hit somebody else. You need to respect their boundaries, respect their space, and learn to use your words. Even if he was angry and he insulted, people wouldn't have taken it as much as him hitting. So they could have seen the video, seen him exchanging words, insulting, but he kept his hands to himself. That's a lighter offense compared to seeing, that assault, push. Yes, it's wrong totally. We must not.
Let me take this call from Alariwaju, who's calling from the UK. Good morning, Alariwaju, you're live.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, the lady.
Good morning.
You know, what I will say about this, I've been here over 32 years in this country. And then once you are in uniform, you represent the country. I was in the Navy before I came here. Once you put that uniform on, there should be respect. What Seun did, I love Seun, I won't lie to you. He's one of my, favorite in the Kuti's family and the sister Yemi. All of them, they are very good. But what he did, he need to apologize to the whole Nigeria, apologize to the policeman, and whatever fine that he has to be given, he has to take it and let it be an example for people that what Seun did is wrong. For others not to do. Can he do that to the military man, the soldier? Can he slap a soldier man like that? He will never. So what he did, he need to apologize to the whole nation and to the man.
Thank you, Mr. Larry Waju. That's the second caller saying he needs to apologize. That's an interesting angle. But Seun Kuti to me is such a, for me, because I always categorize him as one of the very few Nigerians who are above bar. They're very intelligent. There are not so many of us that are at that level where we are reading books and we are able to articulate various perspectives concerning African nationalistic views on how we as Africans can project ourselves above others. He doesn't understand the weightiness of who he is. He's beyond just an artist, a musical artist. He's not just somebody who is Fela's son. He himself is an embodiment of knowledge to some sort, so that he's higher. Like, someone was saying the other day that one of the few eloquent Nigerians who nobody sends anymore is Femi Fani-Kayode. He's like, when FFK used to speak back in the day, you know that somebody who is speaking is speaking. But after all the scandals, all the things we're saying, when he speaks now, you can't down the weightiness of a Femi Fani-Kayode today. Even though as much as right now he's trying to, bring back himself. But that was the FFK we knew. But Seun Kuti still has that clout. He still has that embodiment of an eloquent Nigerian who speaks, advocates for Nigerians.
And maybe if he apologizes, he can get it back.
He can get that back, because in every generation, there are a few of those who speak. They're not all of us. All of us cannot be at the forefront, but there are a few of them like that. And he must maintain it. It's such an important role for him that this apology is required to get that back.
So, apart from the lessons we learned about assault and how to handle anger issues with law and each other, also I think this is a lesson to all of us.
Yeah.
Public eye, celebrity, you find yourself in an embarrassing situation, and you find
your mic is off. Sorry about that. We'll come to you. Let me take this call, then I'll go on a break. Peter, thanks for calling.
Hello, good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm happy belated birthday to Christopher.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, coming to the issue of Seun Kuti.
Right.
My opinion is very straightforward. We all believe that what Seun did is actually uncalled for.
Right.
He didn't practice what he preached or what he's been preaching to us. Some of us are following him. He's like a role model to a lot of us. But the action he took is really, really uncalled for. Like other people have spoken, he really needs to come out and apologize to the whole country, apologize to the Nigerian force, because a lot of youth will use this opportunity and engage the police going forward. So if he does that now, it's going to really, really calm the nerve and show that he's mature and that what he did, he's sorry about it.
All right. Thank you so much. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we get Mariam's point, and then we wrap up on this, because thank God we have some good news story to talk about later. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing the Seun Kuti story, and Mariam had a point to make.
Yes, I was going to say that for people in celebrities and people in the public eye, this can also be a lesson. And the lesson would be what you do from here on, what Seun does from here on out, how he decides to comport himself in the situation. If he goes ahead and he's still being angry and loud, it would diminish him a lot more than if he acknowledges what he's done and apologizes to the Nigerian police and, you know, his followers and all that, it would bring him even more respect, because it's important that no matter how big and confident you are, that you can be humble as well. Yeah. Those are really, humility is very important, you know, for everyone. And it would now teach a lot of our younger ones what to do when they find themselves in embarrassing situations when you have done wrong. We have to learn that when we do wrong, we acknowledge it and we change our ways. So I hope he does that.
Few messages. I have this one from Otumba Karim. Says, good morning, Morale. Seun's action in the video is condemnable and falls short of his status. Seun, like the legendary fella, are one of the moral compass of this nation. No matter the action of the policeman, he ought to have calmed down and not resort to assaulting the policeman. However, Morale, to take Jesus or the Holy Prophet in you not to react to the nuisances and idiosyncrasies of the policemen in this country. Imagine a policeman asking a grandmother 50 years over to submit her phone for checking along the Sherry Expressway, especially Sherry Expressway Link Road. An elderly woman in her hijab. According to, so he was like, the Nigerian police can actually aggravate a lot of this anger. Yes, we know that. And that the question comes to, do we want a nation? Do we all just want to all react? Because if we all want to choose to react to everybody, every policeman that stops us, hits us, or demands money for us, it will break down. So for those who are saying, yes, he did the right thing, I mean, those who are even saying that many of them are comfortable in Germany or in Spain,
they cannot try it in their place.
So they say it, I'm just saying that is my own personal clinical, but many of these people just feel like, yes, Nigerian police, they deserve some of that. But you see, we have to remind ourselves if we want a nation or not, because as much as the police is a work in progress, the Inspector General of Police tell you they are doing everything they can. It's a work in progress, but they're not there yet. Because tomorrow now, we'll see one policeman harass one Nigerian in maybe one highway somewhere. Because that's...
And he will refer to...
And it's referred to. So we understand they're not there yet. But at the same time, we must not begin to attack the law enforcement agencies. Yes, go ahead. Let's give you more comments.
Professor Imonoka Enakena Jr. says, assault on any Nigerian is not advisable, especially that Seun Kuti, who should have known better irrespective of what happened. He should never have slapped a uniformed policeman on duty or any citizen. He could have been killed for... Okay, so maybe he was trying to say that what if the policeman had retaliated and shot at him? You know,
he didn't take the angle of the fact that, you know, Seun Kuti said that this man wanted to kill me. Okay, so is that a crime? I mean, of course it's a crime, but how do we respond to the fact that there's a possibility that this policeman actually maybe tried to hit him to the point where he felt his family was in danger? That in itself is also an issue we have to address. Police chasing you on highway.
We've had police chasing people and it's leading to death. Leading to casualties. So we know that it is a possibility that being chased by a policeman can lead to death. But we also know that whichever way, no matter how aggravated you are, you should not. It's the violence part. So
I'll take your comments in a second. Let me take Adesonya. Has been holding for a minute from Abuja. Good morning, Adesonya. You're live.
Yeah, good morning.
Thanks for calling.
How are you?
Very well.
How is everything?
Good, sir.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It was...
Only that I've not seen my cake, but I know you still said it. Anyway, in fact, I want to just go to this Seun Kuti's issue. It's quite condemning. I don't like it. If I is too young to be doing, or even the father never did that when he was alive. He's just 40. And for a young man like that to be doing such, to me, it's uncalled for. It's uncalled for. In fact, some people look at him, as young as he is, they still look at him as a role model. So for him doing that, but even watching you saying that maybe he should apologize, it's not about apology. It has gone beyond that. The police has to take his course. You understand? So that, because other people can also do it again. It's quite, I'm really disappointed. Even while watching the video, I feel so sad that a young man like that can do such.
Thank you very much. Now, when I was talking, I was thinking of the Nigerian culture. You use one hand to bamowi, you use the other hand to hand. So, I mean, as much as we like the law to take its course, we're also Nigerians. We're very compassionate people. We are the kind of people we have the kind of people that say, now, please now. If he acknowledges and apologizes, maybe they
There'll
should
still be
allow him,
punishment.
you know, to...
There'll still be punishment. There has to be
but
restitution.
But that's where that's the Nigerian factor. We know how to find or shape the law for our own people. But now, please help us understand. But we'll see how it goes because he's hired.
You know, the thing is, if this person...
do we still have someone there?
There was a caller. Good morning. Are you there?
Yeah.
Oh,
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Please.
sounds like it's here.
Go ahead. Miriam.
Okay.
Okay, person has gone. So I was saying that, you know, someone who is not as well-known or popular may have gotten away with it. You know, there are some people who may have connections, know people. They would have called one or two people and quietly gone away. But because he's who he is and all that he stands for, everybody is watching to see how we handle this.
Yeah.
So he will. I mean, the police, you know, the police would want to make an example.
Yes, they have to.
How it should be done, you know, how that sort of person should be treated. Right. And use him as a teaching, as a lesson for the rest of us, you know, not to ever make that mistake.
And maybe the police recognized him and just decided, okay, I will keep my hands to myself. Let's see how this goes. It's very possible. Because that's not like the typical reaction of
the policeman felt really bad for what he had done and he was shocked, like, oh my God, I would
just
kill somebody.
Creating different scenarios of...
Until we hear.
Let us, as Nigerians, try to respect ourselves, not only uniform people. Let him just apologize to Nigerians, the policeman, and then we can move on. That's from
so let me go back to that apology part, because I know our people. You know, if it's America, it's abroad, it's black or white. You commit a crime,
you do the time.
You do the time, yes. But we are Africans.
Let me take Immaculate Boy. He says, Seun, apologies or not, he should face the law. Ike Ekweremadu is a good man. If what he did in UK was here, Mariah could have said, maybe they should apologize and maybe we should forgive him. Yeah. Are we not ready for a lawful society?
So wait. Let's unpack that, because that's pretty heavy. Yeah. It's really important for us, because the truth is, unless we want to fake and pretend that we're not Nigerians, all of us, something happens, we're calling Nima, please, what do you know in last month? Kiniko, do you know? Because that is who we are. Let's not pretend.
Yes.
But so, I'll let you talk busy. So the point is that because we do things differently, we're not like the West, where it's black or white. If we're going, our democracy must be customized to be, our democracy must be to reflect our African culture. Our belief system, everything we're doing must be the same way that we have modernized suits to Ankara suits. We have customized it ourselves. Therefore, in this situation, Seun Kuti apologizes to Nigerians, Nigerian police, and say, Emma Binu.
Nigerians will not forgive.
Community service.
I mean, that is how Nigerians, that's how we are.
Beautiful, and yet you ask us every day on this table if we want a Nigeria that works or we want a kangaroo place. We have to decide. Being a Nigerian does not take out the consequences of your actions. Even back in the days, you commit an offense like this, they call Umuada for you. You buy ram, you buy goat, you buy a cow, you do sacrifices. They take you round, you dance around the village, you tie cloth. You know, you are humbled for the action, even though forgiveness will come. Even when the scripture says forgive, doesn't mean that you will take out the consequences. The consequences, God always pushes it to you. You have to serve the time. If you do the crime, you serve the time. But forgiveness is now the healing part, where we have forgiven you, we have accepted you, but go and sweep that street so that next time you will not do it. We must decide, Morayo. So let it not be that when it comes to our own, we have a way of saying, this is the way Nigerians do it.
Let's not pretend.
Then when it comes to outsiders, wait, that you don't know, you will see that be hitting the table. No, you must do the gradually.
You are right.
Mariah is being very realistic, and I like that.
All of us, even the viewers that are watching, all of us will call somebody because, like, please, they've arrested my car. The other day, my husband's car was his staff got in trouble with the law. And they arrested them at the last mile office and everything. And they called the drama. My brother did not call anybody. Because he was like, I'm not going to call anybody. When he got to the place, he now found out the person in charge is family member. He tried to call that one just even, I'm sorry, okay, this is the fine. They didn't even do family. After you paid the fine.
Then let's talk.
Which is fine. Which is how it should be. But in Nigeria, once you know somebody, Tokwe is in charge of last one.
Let me beg them.
That's how we are.
Mariah, you are right. You have painted the Nigerian picture, but we want a difference, right?
So we're being idealistic.
Yes, so not idealistic, realistic.
To say a middle ground. Can't be far western, far Nigerian.
Middle ground. I agree. The middle ground may be in court, what the judgment may be. He may get something because of who he is, because this is first-time offender. So that is what you allow the court to decide. Okay, we will not lock you up and throw away the keys. I don't think, but, you know, we'll make sure that you do community service. And I was going to make a point that we see celebrities abroad, when they make a mistake, they still come out and apologize. And then they go and commit the fine, serve the punishment. And I just remembered that I think the Archbishop of Canterbury just recently was fined £500 for overspeeding. Can you imagine? Yeah. Like that sort of person. And he paid the fine. So we want to, the reason, I know you call it Western, but the reason they are doing that because they have recognized that that's the only way to keep a sane society. That's the only way things will work. If you're not constantly begging for this person and begging for that. So if we want it to work as well, we have to pack that our Nigerianness aside, one side, and allow, you know, the society to work
Let me take this call from Peter. Good morning, Peter. Are you there?
Hello.
You're live. Oh, Yakub, I'm sorry. Yakub, go ahead. You're live.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I totally disagree with some callers says that is beyond apology. Yes, we all know that what Seun Kuti did is wrong, but at the same time, it is not beyond apology. I didn't mean that instead of Seun did another video says that the policeman is trying to kill him and leave. I didn't mean that the whole apology to the family of that very particular policeman and then to Nigerian as a whole to be calm enough. But, Morayo, there's something that I need to point out here. That very particular policeman did not rehearse. One, all because he knew Seun very well. I didn't mean it is me, ordinary Nigerian citizen that does not know to this very particular policeman. By now, Seun could have been where he ought to be. Even what Seun did is so wrong because it is somebody that a lot of people is looking up to. And then I will say this. If Seun know that he has did something wrong, the best thing for him is to do that apology. And then even if he goes to the court, he may say that I'm not guilty, or he pleaded that he's guilty of this offense, and then the law is going to take its course. And then Nigerian police, I think they have changed. They are still go through all this rehabilitation or something. But if not, what you are saying this morning, it could have been another way around. Good morning and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Yakub. That's another angle that it was you and I. So like they could have gotten a slap back or something, but hey, you never know. But we have to wrap up on this.
What we call the Nigerian culture came from corruption and sentiments. Nigerians were not like this before. So let us go back. We want a society that works. Let us go back to attaching certain consequences and following through on those consequences, irrespective of whose ox is God. We have to go back to that. That was the Nigeria we knew. Nigeria had, I remember some write-ups about how when the white people came here and how they wanted to break us. They said these people were highly spiritual people who had integrity, they listed some of the characteristics of Nigerians that we don't have anymore. So it's not that we are trying to uphold the Nigerian corruption and sentiment. This was something that we acquired with the politicians. So let us go back to the old ways where if a crime is committed, you must do the things that are necessary to be done so that we have a healthy society. All
right, we have to wrap up on that's all we can take on this. But I do remember that one of my mentors was telling me one of the reasons why she never really liked President Buhari at the time was the fact that he executed 4 young men back in his time when he was general, back in the day. And she felt that, yes, those young boys, prominent, beautiful, not beautiful, handsome young men who were, I think it was about drugs or something. I can't remember what the crime was back then. And they were executed. He was trying to send a message that he would not condone any of those behaviors. But she hadn't, her heart never forgave him because she felt that you could have put them in prison or something. Something could have been done. But I understand there's black and there's white. But I also believe that as we are doing the black and white at some point, we should also understand there's a place for mercy. I agree that he should do the time. Yeah. But in doing the time, we should also understand the weightiness of who he is. I mean, there are a lot of us that's separating people to be above the law and under the law. The rule of law here. I agree with you. As I said, in everybody's generation, there are few voices that are advocates. Not all of us can be voices. Seun Kuti is one of those prominent voices
that's why
that we shouldn't
justice
because
should be very
of
firm.
mistakes.
The justice should be very, very firm.
So that's why there are lessons to learn across, 360 lessons. From him, from us, the people, all of us. There's so many expectations from all that even with be bestowed upon him that he might not even be ready for.
Yeah.
You know, so there's so many things that we do. So it's a 360 round thing that we need to all look and see that we do apologize. We also apologize for being part of the whole somehow. But let us we have to wrap up.
To whom much is given, much
yeah. So to whom much is given, much expected, and I do hope that as he goes to report himself to the police this morning, his lawyer will do the right thing, and at some point we'll see exactly what happened and what aggravated him to cause this kind of situation.